Welcome back to another live trading session. Trades on Friday, weekend trading day, and pretty exciting day today to trade here. I'm really excited to trade this in this live market with all of you together. There is quite a few dramatic movement that we can see in the market. So let's begin here today. What kind of trading opportunity we have in the market? And I'm going to look at the market structure. We'll be looking at the complete multiple time frame analysis, and then also we'll be looking at the lower time frame, higher time frame to see that potential trading opportunity in this market. So let's begin today's analysis. But first, I would like to see that all the members present. The live is on, the audio is on. Can you hear me? And say yes if you can hear me. Awesome, thank you very much for confirming. And before we look at the analysis, first of all, I'm going to look at the fundamental here to see that where the market at the moment in terms of the news as well as the analysis. And there is news coming later today, deep in the night or morning, whatever you want to say, but it's late. Okay, so that late the news coming where which is nearly to 1:45 AM in my zone, so we might be on this session or might not be, but we'll try to cover that news because this is a very high impact news and would like to see that there is potentially a significant move in the market in this news announcement. So I'm going to look at, first of all, XAUUSD, that means the gold chart, and also we will be looking at some other instrument as well in the market to see that what kind of market structure we can see here in the today. So dollar yen, euro dollar, some of the instrument as well, we can see significant trend in the market. Also the British pound, US dollar, also there is a trend in the market on GBP USD as well. So first of all, looking at looking at the longer term trend here. Okay, I'm going to look at, first of all, the multiple time frame analysis. Okay, so that we know that in fact where the market is heading, because when you look at the bigger picture you can see the smaller picture very clearly, and gold trend now is very readable. That I would say that it's very organized trend that you can see, not a very what I would say, the not choppy market. It's a trending market. So when the market trends, trading with the trend is the most profitable way to trade. And in this live session I'm going to look at analyzing the chart, and then we'll go through the trade setup if there is anything coming. Earlier today we had one trade setup, but now I'm going to look at further entry as we might see a potential reversal in the market. So beginning with here, first of all, looking at the monthly to see that overall direction in the market. As when you look at the monthly, we can see the bigger picture as we are not going to enter in the market on the monthly, right? We will be trading on 5 minutes, 1 minute chart, but looking at bigger picture will give you a potential flow in the market where the market is eventually be heading, right? So you can see a clear flow in the market. So that's where the monthly, and gold now currently in a very good instrument to trade as this is trending. So from the monthly, okay, just having an outlook here, you can see it's an exponentially bullish market. What about with BTC/USD? Okay, BTC/USD has dropped down for a pullback, but if you look at gold, is very different than the BTC/USD at the moment. Welcome, I'm good, thank you. So if you look at here, you can see that gold from that onward, it's moving, it's going back to the upside, and we might see that the market, you know, it's creating an all-time high and could eventually create an all-time high. All right, so it's a strongly flowing market. Looking at the weekly, there is a gap open, gap open, gap open, 3 weeks of gap open. There might be an, you know, you might argue that this market will drop down, which can happen as we are on the weekend. That's what we are looking at in this live session. If there is any reversal, yeah, we will be taking that reversal trade here. Now going to the daily chart to see that where the price action is heading. If you look at the daily, here's the daily market, where from this, today is the 5th day, right? So first 4 days that we can see here was a clean bullish impulse that you can see without any proper pullback. And with that clean bullish impulse, the market has rejected off that level. Right? So if you look at here, you can see this is a, from this support level here, okay, this is where the market has got the rejected of that support level to the resistance. And the previous daily market structure also was significantly bull market, was a strongly in an uptrending market structure. And now dropping down to the 4 hour, now guys, we are coming to a zone where we might be able to find an entry. So this is the 4 hour or the intraday level. Now so far, though it is a strongly bull market or the uptrending market, we are looking at a level. This is the where the candle, new candle open, and there is initial drop here. Okay, so it is not unusual to see that this market to drop again from that level. So because the lower time frame here, that there is a downtrend here in that market. So now there is a 1 hour drop, pullback, and yeah, this 1 hour candlestick pattern is quite significant. In terms of trend, all right, so what is going up is likely to go up, but what we can see here, there is a drop, so 2 directional bias. Now we are dropping down to very lower time frame. Here is the move that you can see from here. Okay, a clean drop, one single drop from here with one green move and then drop again. So this can be acting as a reversal pattern here on gold. Now if it is acting as a reversal pattern, then what we are looking at, an entry to the major direction of the trend. Are you ready for an entry? This is a, you know, I tried to open buy here, but it just dropped back below. At the moment, if you look at here, it tested this order block again, exactly to the order block. This is an order block. So because it tested the order block, all right, so if you look at here, there's an order block, resistance, turning support here. Because it tested the order block, there is a high chance for this market to eventually could push back to the upside to create a new higher high. So here is an, if you look at the from this support, which is the resistance, turn support from the order block. So this is an order block here, and off that order block, resistance, turn support. we can expect this market to reject off this level here. And because this is a previous resistance and support, what we are looking at this market structure to eventually break that high and then to create a new higher high, create a new uptrending market structure. So here is the lower time frame trend that you can see this market is exhibiting, that might take that price back above here 4929 or 4930 or above this level. All right, so let's look at where it is eventually heading to, and from that level we are looking at this market structure to give us an entry. At the moment, as we are progressing towards the hourly close, I'm looking at now the 1 minute chart. Here is we found that from the technical point of view, this market has tested the order block, bounced off that level. Therefore, this is the 1 minute trend that you can see here. Okay, so we drop now to 1 minute. Now, what was the advantage of looking at the bigger picture is that we have seen potentially a bullish bias here, right? So now for us to enter, we found a directional flow. We found which way the buyers are buying this market. We found that the market is in a bigger bullish flow, but at the same time, lower time frame, there is a breakup structure. Now, the current level that I'm looking at for potential sell off of this, if we see that the market 4929 4930 level has broken, we might see another potential drop. On the other hand, here coming down for a breakup structure, we will be looking at buying this market, and this is where we are looking at for an entry as soon as we find suitable price action confirmation. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Thank you for your time. Okay, now it reacted to the upside of this support level. If you look at the market now, from this support created this more pullback and the more pullback, the market is maintaining this higher high and higher low. So this is current trend. Understanding trend will give you a big freedom, right? Trade with the trend. Trend is your friend as long as you are trading, right? That's how trading is. Trading with the trend is the most profitable trading system one can ever have, because when you trade with the trend, you started to see that, you know, every trader has some kind of error. So you need, you know, any strategy that you are running, you need to have the room for error, right? So that room for error can be minimized using the trend. What do I mean by this? If your entry is not correct, but if your trend is correct, then more of the time you will be winner as a trader, right? That's how we can use the trend as an edge in the market. Does that make sense to you? Okay, now here the market is preparing for a possible bounce of this level. This is the 4 hour 4929. We might be able to find an entry This is the low of this session's low, guys. This 4912. All right, 4912 is the session's low, and 4924 is the session's 4929 is the session's high. I would like to invite some of you here to be on with me on Zoom to find out some trading opportunity here, to have some discussion. How many of you are willing to come on live now? I'm going to place a link on the Telegram, free Telegram, where you guys can join here now to me to get to be here to discuss. I think this is the best way to enter, to have some discussion. So time to time we'll have that discussion. Will be able to helpful for finding the best. I think that's the best way to understand many of the fundamental. Probably you guys have clear understanding, and we can have really great sharing of knowledge here. So if you're on the free Telegram, you can find link, and also I'm sharing the link here for the free Telegram, where I'm posting a link now for the Zoom. And after joining few members, we'll be taking the link off, so that way we'll be able to have some discussion about market today. So you can join the Telegram. I have given the link. All right, so posting a link here from Zoom. So the link is shared in both of this group. You guys can join me here. So and I'm sharing also the meeting ID and passcode. So okay, so you can participate in Zoom for some discussion that we can so you can unmute the mic at any point and have some share your opinion and thought. It's a quick invitation, so I haven't announced it before, but if we have some discussion, probably that's the best way to enter the market. So we are on live on YouTube, and with this Okay, so hey guys, thanks for joining. So I hope that you can see the screen on I'm not sharing on Zoom, but I can do that too, so you can have a clear understanding. So you are on live on YouTube, and here cool. And first of all, thanks for joining, and we are on live, all many of the members here, and I would like to ask a feedback from any of the members here. So what do you think today's market? You can join directly, and it will be it's hard on the live. So can you anyone confirm that you can hear the voice from the Zoom on the who are watching on live on YouTube?
Yes, I can hear loud and clear. Abraham here.
Abraham, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that.
Good afternoon from Nigeria.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
And Abraham, thanks for joining. Really good to see that all of you also in the academy. We are really looking, because it's Friday. And what do you think? What's your thought on gold today? If you look at, also you can discuss about the fundamental as well. So if you have any idea, so what's your suggestion that we are looking at here, the market to do you think that it's gonna reverse back to the daily, or you think that it's gonna reverse back below to the daily low?
My friends.
So I got
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the chart now.
Yeah.
On the 4-hour chart.
Yeah. 4 hours.
I see. Yes, I see that the trade found a support somewhere around 4901, 4909. Finally pushing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the 4 hour, that the market is pushing up. So you think that the market is going to, so because there is you see the market open here, do you think, like, you all can be wrong at any approach, but is this the resistance could break and go high, or it test here and could drop again? And any thought on that, or you're just waiting to see how it react to that level?
Just waiting for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing your feedback. And I'm also with you, because I also think the market is eventually could test, and there is a potential, because if you look at this 4 hour, you are right, because it's a high liquidity zone. So if you look at the low and high, the market is in the upper sides of this weekly low, right? So, and from the 4 hour perspective, the market is upper side of this 4 hour open. So the possibility here that the market to after go back and retest. But at the same time, because we see already as soon as the market opened, there is a bearish rejection of this level. What I think could come back again for another retest. And what I think the market, may not be an entirely sell-off, which could happen. But if you look at the previous 4-hour candle, okay, because this session's candle is very important, you can see that there is a long wick. So there is a buying pressure again here. So because there is a buying pressure again in that area, because there is a long buying happen, it might remain back to the upside. Okay, so
sorry, coach, are you sharing your screen? I can't see anything.
Okay, so you are on YouTube or Zoom?
Zoom. I'm on Zoom.
Okay, so we are on live on YouTube. Do you want to see on YouTube?
Okay, let me go to YouTube.
Yeah. So I'm sharing you guys for those on the Zoom as well, the live sessions link. So that way, it gonna be easy. One moment. So we all in the same. So I'm not sharing the screen in two different. We have some few more. Okay, so sharing so I have shared the YouTube link on the Zoom. So who is wanted to speak or discussing because if I keep all of them unmuted, it's gonna be a little noisy. So I think George, it was asked to unmute. Now you can. Okay, so thank you. So the link is on the Telegram for the Zoom. So I'm deleting the link now from the Telegram because we have quite a few members already on Zoom. So we will be having that discussion with all of you. Now at the moment, anyone, George or Chirag, George, Lane, Semi, what do you think that gold for us to find an entry? I'm just looking to see that what most of you are thinking, and then we'll be taking a trade based on what everyone think, that because the market predictable. But for me, what I think, the price could go back here for retest. So you can find a buy entry along the way, or we can look for sell entry of this intraday resistance after rejection from this level to this level. There's a very high chance the market will retest this level and then could drop back down. So for those who are on Zoom, we are on live on YouTube. So if you don't see somehow the screen, then you can join the live session for looking at. Coach, are you sharing your screen? Yeah, George. So we are on YouTube live. So have you been on the live session where you can see the screen? I didn't want to share on both platform. Okay, so if you look at, you can see slowly the market is trying to bounce off this level. Okay, from this support could move back again to the upside here. Okay. Now here the market is trying to break above this level here. If you look at, there is a crossover of 10 and 20 EMA, and where the market is slowly trying to break below and reverse of this. I can't hear you from my end. Okay, so I think the audio is on the, can you hear? So where do you looking gold and gold is, if you look at that, the market is having the trend, and we are looking so far bullish in that area. I can now, thank you. Okay, welcome. This is just show that the stream is going well. Now, for those who are on the Zoom, you can anytime unmute your mic if you have any question or if you want to share your thought on that. At the moment, what we are looking at here in this area, that the market, okay, so it's breaking off that level. So I'm talking about that, the candle close coming. This is the 1 hour price action, and before the candle close, it's having a reaction of that level. Now this candlestick pattern closing like that can act in both directions. So if you look at the high, you see there's a double top in that area, and at the same time there is a trend to the upside. So until we see the both direction is very high probability, we will be waiting for this move. So I'm bringing also here for the Zoom, so you guys know where we are. So anytime you can unmute the mic and you can speak if you want to ask any question. Okay, so there is a long rejection of this level if you look at. And this is a complete rejection of this level, and the market is, if you look at, it's breaking out of this zone, which might take that price back above here. So if you look at here, you can see the market is slowly breaking out of this level and can take that market further to the upside here to create a new higher high. And this is a significant rejection of this level that you can see. Okay, so welcome. I see some members on Zoom. So you see there is a break back to the upside. Okay, it just has crossed this resistance line that you can see the market bounce off that level. All right, so now if you look at this price action here so far, 30 minutes, I think what Abraham said was in fact playing out. This is a great way to know that the market has crossed that high, and the way this current price action has closed this 30 minutes price action, it is still not there, but we see there is a rejection of this level. So if you look at the lower shadow of this candlestick pattern, you can see there is a cross of this previous one and strong rejection of this support level. So that might take that market here back above, could eventually take that market back above to create a new higher high. So that is where we are looking at to see an entry back to the upside if the market has shown significant breakout. With this stronger breakout, if you look at here, it's a very sharp bounce of this level. I'm thinking for a possible entry. What do you think, guys? Anyone has any comment? If we look for buy, because there is a significant bearish fair value gap here. Anyone has an idea? We see there is a bullish move so far. Perfect zone to buy at early breakout. You guys can share your opinion also using the mic, so it's on. Okay, I think, yeah, so there is a bearish fair value. The market has just crossed that. Okay, we will be looking at entry with very tight stop loss and proper risk management. Have anyone any input, or you're good to go? What do you think? Yeah, okay. I see Abraham, George. Okay, so something from on Zoom, Chirag. Green FBG on 5 minutes. Yeah, this is what we are seeing, that there is a significant fair value gap, but this candle may come for a pullback, but we want to enter for this fair value gap. All right, so, and this 15 minutes, if you look at it, might close as a bullish engulfer. All right, so even if it isn't closing, we want to take, it's still 7 minutes to go for this move, so we will be trading this fair value gap. Okay, so there is a stronger breakout. All right, so if we look at the 1 minute here, the recent level of support is here, right? So this is a trend, right? So a move, 1 minute pullback, another move, pullback. Okay, now it would be very good if we could see the market is here, but I think it may not come that far because the momentum is high and there is a big void here. 5 minutes, yeah, 5 minutes bearish fair value gap, and it might bounce off this level, could be, or around that area. So if we look at here, it's gonna be, if we place the stop loss here too low, okay, it's gonna be so big, so I'm not going to place that far. In case this market coming down here, we will be out with the trade and we can look for further entry. At the moment, I would like to keep my stop loss above this high here, so which will be reasonable, 66 pip to 67 pip, and I will be targeting to the nearest swing high here. Okay, so I'm going long, guys. Keep in mind that it's very important that you do the risk management, and I'm doing the risk management. And the stop loss placing at 4926, and also I will be explaining later stop loss criteria and also the take profit criteria. And take profit target placing at 4946.41 with I placed 1% risk. But if your accounts, if you are trading any kind of if for own fund it's 1%, for any kind of funded account it's less than this, so it depends on what kind of account you are trading with. I also hedge some of the trade. Probably you guys have seen in the academy I have shared many of the trades that I am currently hedging. Have you got any idea about hedging, anyone? 4926.03. So place that buy, and we want to take the first move here. All right, now this is the first resistance is here. This is a bearish fair value gap, as we discussed that, and we want to see that the market being able to cross the recent resistance line here. All right, so let's wait to see. It's gonna be cool if market is going in that direction as we discussed. And I'm running a little bit in profit. It's a tight stop loss, so decent amount of profit could be good to take. Market is aiming to 4-hour high candle. This one is 1 hour. Okay, so there is, we see that some kind of movement like that, and awesome. By the way, for those who are on the academy, we had just okay. Getting some more. Now this is a two-way level that you can see here. If the market strongly break out, we might see straight going back to 494647 level. That could be the straight move here, depending on. If the market breaks below, it might even drop well below, because there is a long wick here. So at some point it might come for a retest of this long wick, but before it comes here, we want to see this market is going back there, right? And by the way, traders, if you're enjoying the live session, make sure you smash it, like this stream, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. There's a little bit of slowdown in the movement, is because if you look at long NY session open is coming right in just in few minutes, so it's around 45 minutes coming up NY session, and there's a transition before the opening, so there might be some kind of volatility coming with session open. And in the meantime, guys, also share your this week. How was your trading this week? You know, I always look at the week by week. Okay, I do journal all the trade, and I also share many of the trades journal that I'm journaling in the group. If you guys looked at the journal, I use a very simple journal, just date, trades, and how many pips, what the strategy being used. Do you journal your trade? Journaling is very important in terms of to keep a track of and strategy performance. It's important that it's journal. Not only journaling, anything you journal, it really helps, because when you journal, it straight come to your attention. Anything you want to accomplish when you journal, it's gonna be much more, especially to be successful as a trader, to be successful in terms of a strategy. Journaling is very important. Okay, here it's pushing back. Okay, awesome. We are 40, nearly to 41 pip now. I think we could see that bounce off that level. This is the power of discussion. We had a discussion and we taken the trade in the direction. This I really like that way to trade. And okay, so we want to see that. I think there might be another push here back. Will not take so long once the market will go up, crossing 4940. Or near there, we can take that trade out of the market. At any point, we could see some kind of potential rejection. Come on, this is getting reaction back below. All right, so it's a false breakout. I don't want to take it to the stop loss. And okay, you want to see that reaction of this. So after this 1 minute candle closed, just liquidity grab, and it's very interesting. After 45 pip move, okay. Going back up, I think we could see that now going back up. If we don't see going back up, then if the market started to drop, we might need to exit. But I think still there is a, I'm holding on to that for possible bounce back to the upside here. There's a very high chance for this continuation here, and this is a breakup structure, right? So that breakup structure eventually to create a new higher high. I was expecting a little stronger reaction of this support level here, but we see some kind of rejection from the buyers, so which is a good sign of going back again to create a new higher high. Okay, patience pays off, and it's reacted back to the upside. We are back in profit, and here now, because it reacted off that level, expecting it to create a new higher high, and we see that going back, crossing that level. We could see that 50 pip up here. Thank you. That's awesome. Good to hear that, guys. So if you want to see that some running profit, and it's not a one-day job. It takes a lot of time for patience is anyone can achieve, right? I was not patient in the beginning, but you can achieve it through practice, because it's all about training your brain to create that neuro connection. That's all you need. Okay, everything is habit. Okay, everything is habit. Anything you do 21 to 30 days become your habit. So you create a neuro pathway and you follow along with that. Now, if it is not moving here, there is a potential for a head and shoulder creation, and if that is happening, then will not be done. Okay, I see that upside. I'm still holding because I'm prepared to close if needed, but I'm still holding on to that, because if it creates a head and shoulder, it's not unusual to see dropping back again. Right here, so far, there is still upside here. Okay. And yeah, too long week here in that area. Okay, so the current 1 minute candlestick pattern, also you can see there is a significantly I'm looking to see one more bounce or downs. This is a new word, isn't it? Okay, 5 minutes candle closed. Now, if the 15 minutes closing as a doji, that means even with a smaller body, there is a chance for an upside here, because it's still bullish price action here. So I'm still on it. This market is still potential for an upside. Okay, the candle closing potentially above. So this is a bullish price action. I'm holding on to that. Are you holding on to that? Okay. What blue line? Okay, so they are levels. They are key levels. So this blue line, this one that you can see, the blue line, 4937 is the recent high, and these are levels. Okay, so these are key levels where you could see a reaction or a false breakout. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for asking. Here is the 15-minute candle trying to close. Okay, bullish. Who asked this question? It's the first time that someone asked a curious question. It's good to hear that. All right, be curious, guys. This is where you're gonna be a good trader. Questioning is really sometimes difficult, right? Okay, now I'm not pushing any stop loss at entry because I'm gonna close if we see that there is a possibility for a drop, because there's significant move happen. We are running good profit. I don't want to take the half on it, though this is, you know, sometimes we take 200 pip, 100 pip, but at the moment so far what moved, and if it come back to the stop loss entry, then even it can come back to the stop loss. So there's no point of holding on to the half for such a move here. Okay, it's trying to break again. See, this is getting some reaction. Candle closing, 15 minutes. Now, you see, this is what happened in the last moment. There is a rejection. Now, I'm still bullish here. If you look at the 15 minutes, you can see it's carrying the buyers. Whenever dropping, the buyers trying to push that market up. All right, so a big rejection of this level again. And all right, so here is from this level. Awesome. That's where there is a again reaction here in that area. There might be deeper pullback. All right, so Okay, getting reaction again. I'm still waiting for a new higher high. Session volume coming in few minutes. 30 minutes remaining for the session volume to come. And should we close? Have we got any idea? Anyone has any opinion? Didn't create a very stronger reaction of this level. Okay, going out. I'm going out. I'm out. As if you look at, it's not getting a stronger reaction of that. So there might be some move later. If you look at here, the 30 minutes, and there is a potential for deeper pullback, and so the pin bar here. This market may remain bullish, but there is a potential for a break of structure for deeper liquidity gap. We will be re-entering. We do open multiple positions sometimes. So at the moment, see some getting some okay. So I'm disconnecting the Zoom, but it's still on YouTube. We'll be again connecting later. You still can watch on YouTube, just for to make it simple. Here, good feedback. We will be re-entering as soon as you find further entry. We will be re-entering. We will be also having again Zoom session for discussion. Now this trade is closed and I'm looking at further entry. If you guys have we are not confident in your trade, no volume yet. Why? We entered very confidently, isn't it? Why do you think there is not confident in your trade? Okay, one misunderstanding also important to understand is that you can't be 100% confident in your entry that it's gonna go in your favor, right? This is the number one lesson, guys, that you need to understand. Because if you become overconfident in trading, you're gonna lose. Confidence in trading that you have to have on your emotional control. All right. Now the market can go in any direction, but here so far we can see that the price action is in that area is showing that if you look at slowed down, but there is a bullish confluence, right? And the only reason that we are out, let's look at analyze the chart. If you look at the 15 minutes, you can see there's a doji, right? Now this doji, there is a higher chance the market to test that lower part of this 15 minutes doji before it bounce off that level. And if you look at it, creates a quite a few imbalance in that area as well. So this is the recent high. Our stop loss is here that we open below, and we will be re-entering on another break below. Right. The goal here is to keep the winning on. We can enter anytime as long as we have the confluence again. Now, I'm trading for nearly to 10 years, right? And there's no kind of trade that I didn't have that entered. So the market, one of the biggest reason it's so difficult to trade is because if you look at the technical, you'll see that if the market trends nicely, even it breaks up structure, it's a very good market for trading, right? Anyone can win, anyone can trade, simple strategy. But the biggest struggle happens is that if you look at a very lower time frame, you'll see how the market moves. Okay, the market moves like this. There is a rhythm, there is always a vibration in pricing. You'll see that. Look at the 1 second. There is a 1 second market here. Okay, 1 second. You see how the chart the candles are being created. This is the 1 second chart, and then you'll see that how the market moves like that. And it's very random. It's 1 second. It's not really replay. Have you ever traded on 1 second? Okay, going back to 1 minute. Now, got a rejection, right? So this rejection was a very high predictable. And that's why I got out, because there is a potential for the market to look at the 50 minutes again. Okay, now it's getting a kind of reaction of this level. I mean 1 second before. Okay, now 1 second is not tradable time frame, but it's gonna give you an idea of how really the market does every moment, right? So if you look at this, is 1 second, means that in 1 minute candle you can find this kind of 60 candles. And if you look at that every moment, how the market actually in a 1 minute, how many direction the market has moved. So this is the thing that you can look at. It's kind of molecule, right? So if you look at inside the electron, so this is nucleus. You see how within 1 minute how the market is moving, right? So if you look at, this is the nucleus and then the orbital. Okay, so you can resemble with that one. In the 1 minute, nucleus and then orbital. Okay, so what is orbital? Orbital is where you can there is a probability of finding an electron in a certain zone is called the orbital. So this can learning chemistry and physics here. So the probability of finding an electron in a specific time. This is where it's coming to the quantum physics, right? So if you look at the Newtonian physics, that doesn't apply here in the quantum world. That means so everything we predict in this physical world, what we see, is based on the Newton's law, because it's the gross what you can see. So we predict everything based on the Newton's law, but in the quantum world it's not applicable there. That's why some phenomena that we cannot explain, we leave it to the nature. This is what happened, but it's actually quantum phenomena, right? Some natural event we cannot predict, and we can say that we don't know it, but it's a quantum phenomena because what we know is based on the Newton's law of physics, right? But if you look at the quantum, this is probabilistic. And probabilistic means that it's, for example, if you look at the superposition of something, it's very difficult to grasp that concept of superposition, right? And the market also like that, right? So you can see that it has broken back below here again. So if you look at this is in the electron, right? So if you look at the solar system, the same thing, you can find a resemble with the solar system. This is the sun and the earth, moon, same thing. There's no difference between this and that. Same nucleus, electrons revolving around. There's a probability of finding the electron cloud, right? So that means the electron is changing its position at any given time, all the time. Similarly, if you look at this earth is like an electron, right? And then how can you find that earth in one place if you cannot find an electron in one place? Same thing, right? If there is a probability of finding of electron in a certain zone as a wave rather than a particle, then there is a probability of finding an earth in one zone rather than a round circle of earth, because this is also a quantum. So therefore the earth also doesn't stay as in one place. It can stay in any place at any point as a probabilistic cloud. So that's why you can't explain the phenomena happening, right? So by the way, it's the market also like that. It moves like as a very vibrational wavy manner. Okay, now then how can you be succeeding as a trader? Do you need a wave function to trade the market? You don't need it. Simple rules that you need. Okay, you can create a quantum entanglement, but here you can just need to look at very simple, okay, open eye, then you can understand it. At the moment, if you look at here, so look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, from here it's bouncing off that level. Okay, now it's appearing to be more and more bull market, right? Let's look at that here. It's appearing to be now more and more bullish market here. With this forming the double bottom, There's a potential for a new higher high. So are you looking for a big sell on gold? I think so far it's on a sideways. So if it's bullish market, why did you come out from the trade with simple red candle? Your risk reward doesn't make sense. Okay. All right. So the firstly, our stop loss is very tight. Okay. Secondly, it's a bull market. We do open quite a few trades and we had a very high win rate, guys. This is where I'm looking at, because the win rate really matters. It matters. Why it matters? If you have experience as a trader for 10 years or more, probably got very good at understanding your emotion, because win rate has a significant impact on the next trade. So the previous trade has a significant impact or influence on the next trade. Am I right or wrong? You'll see that what I have seen teaching thousands of traders. If you disagree, you can let me know in the live chat. But I have seen that traders take risk when they lose trade. Am I right or wrong? You see, the trader doesn't take risk when they win trade. Trader doesn't become greedy to win more. They become greedy to recover the loss. So therefore, when you have a winning trade, you'll see that more often trader doesn't increase risk. Some might do, but when there's a losing trade, then they start to increase risk, because we're going to go back to where it was. So therefore, win rate had a, like the previous trade has a definitely some influence on your next trade. But, I discussed before also, any strategy, there is nothing absolute in trading. Okay? Keep in mind that there is nothing absolute in anything at all. That's the paradox, right? There's nothing absolute in anything at all. Can you do something or say something or do something with absolute certainty? There is nothing certain. Everything is function of probability. So therefore, if you look at the trading same, so no one's way is absolute way, but the one that you use and work for you is the best way. You don't need to follow anyone's strategy or way, but if you have the concept of mentorship, learning, growing as a trader is to see that what others doing, so you can mirror yourself to that. It's not, the goal is not to teach you something that you can follow along, but to make you something that you can mirror, right? Like that. It's like a stick. So if you find a stick, and then you can wrap around, right? And then once you become like a stick, you don't need the other stick anymore. So the concept like that. Okay, it's pushing that way. It's going back to the upside here, and we'll be re-entering as soon as you find suitable entry again. Okay, now here we can see there is a significant bullish trend continuation here. The market is creating its move back to the upside here, and we could see the market eventually go back here for 4959. As zooming in and out, this is why, to give you an idea, this is how all the laws of the physics work. So if you zoom in, okay, you're gonna see a different picture. So when it is zoomed in, that when you zoom in, anything that you studied will not work anymore. But if you zoom out, anything you study will work. But if you zoom out too much, also anything you study will not work. So it's like that. Here, this much will work. You are here, everything will work from here to here in this. But if you zoom out here, it's not gonna work anymore. The market also like that. You can zoom out to 1 minute. Okay. Zoom into the 1 minute, or zoom out to the 4 hour or 1 hour. Okay, now what we are seeing here, now how can you zoom into a thing that everyone looking the same chart, right? It's another wrong concept. If you are not looking at the same chart, okay, everyone looking in their own eyes. So a trader can see a trade that the other trader cannot see. That's why who is looking is important. who is looking will determine how things will influence by his attention, because attention is energy, right? That's the key. Okay, now what we are looking at here is this is the 15 minutes chart support level, and we more often close in successful trade. That's where the focus is. Trading is a little boring, but it's worth doing, because once you learn, you grow, you become good at it. I'm finding this music very slow. Gonna increase it. Now the market is still bullish, and you can see there is a potential for further upside here, and you could see the market to eventually break above in that area. We might be able to find further entry. This is the 15 minutes price section, and there is the session open for NY and 1 hour candle closing here. Now with this session open, looking at here, okay, there is a reaction of this level. The 1 hour candlestick pattern, typical rejection here. We're going to see further downside. We'll have news few hours later, but at the moment, what kind of market structure it has formed, looking at. This move that you can see here is a very unusual move. There is potential for reversal. And if it is reversal, it might be a waterfall to this level. All right, and looking at here, this entirely dropped down, and I think it's gonna break below further now. Let's wait to see that what kind of price action is forming. 4 hour, there's a potential for until you see a clean directional bias. I'm still on it. Not going anywhere. It's really interesting market structure. Breakout, so I didn't enter here, and might go ahead and create a new higher high. Okay, here we see there is a significant bounce of this level, and with that bounce the market is maintaining that uptrend here, and you would like to see the price to potentially continue with the session open. Look at here, see, drop, break above, you're going to see a double bottom. To delete all the levels here to refresh the chart. Okay, it's gonna be really interesting to see how How much pip on the last trade? Okay, I got nearly to 25 pip. If you guys have different, you can share. Might be less or more. I closed earlier. Still going really in that direction here. Okay, so it's, if you look at maintaining that series of higher low, it's bullish in that direction. Now this is a double bottom here, if you look at, right? And with the double bottom, the market had a sharp breakout here. Okay, with this movement, if you look at from the 1 hour, the price has just tested the 10 exponential moving averages. Now 10 exponential moving is important. It formed that an order block. Now from the 1 hour, we are reanalyzing the chart to be showing that where we can find potential entry back here. So this is the rejection, and breaking of this trend line, breaking of this structure is where the best entry here. Okay, so if you look at, we want to see that it's cracking that code below. Ready for another entry. You want to see that it's cracking that code below here. All right, so need some loud music. Have some music and then we'll be going to entry. Okay, the way market structure is forming here is possibly there's a possibility for a new higher high, right? So looking at that level from the intraday, might be mapping another entry. Breaking below here can be a good entry, but it can bounce off this level until there is a confusion that the market might bounce off this level or come back below here. We'll be waiting to see, in fact, which one to play out here. From this high here, the market dropped to that, and this price may, if you look at, this is an order block, and okay, getting a reaction of this level here. Okay, so we'll have news. It's quite a, almost more than an hour. So before the news, we want to find a possible another entry. This is 15 minutes price action, forming long wick, big long wick doji. So we want to see the market to gain enough liquidity from this support and then to reverse again back above for another bounce. So the previous trade in the same strategy that we have taken, if you look at here, it was a strongly bullish and we have looked at that move. So now a big drop followed by it's a narrow pullback from here. Yeah, so it's now there is a trend line here, right? You can see that this is a trend line for an established trend line for an extended time. Now off this trend line, breaking from that is a good area to look to see that what kind of market structure is forming. And Still trying to create a downtrending market structure here. And this is very sideway, and of this sideway, okay, now if you look at the market forming kind of inverted head and shoulder, and because it is creating this kind of structure, it has a significant imbalance here. If you look at it, it's a bearish fair value gap, and we will be trading this bearish fair value gap now here on the 1 minute bearish fair value gap. Here is FBG. Now here I will be placing a pending order above this high, above this imbalance, keeping the stop loss below this low, and okay, keeping the stop loss above this high. Now we will be adjusting if we need it. If the market breaks, it still can break below, guys. It still can come down, and I'm not trading against the trend. I'm not selling. If the market only goes up, then we will be entering into the trade. Okay, so looking at here, so it's gonna be a buy stop order. So it's, if you look at here, it's creating a downtrending market structure. If you look at it, it's a significantly, if you look at here, it is a okay, it has got entirely broken back below, so I am not entering on it. It rejected off that level, guys, so not entering. It might reverse. Okay, so see, this is what it didn't go to the order block, and so I'm not on it here. It's entirely broken below. It may now come even deeper for break below. Alright, so I'm not entering into the trade. We'll be waiting for the market to show up clear directional bias before you look at an entry. Patience is key, and we had trade earlier, right? Let's keep pushing down here. All right, so we will be looking at coming news also later today. If you look at the calendar here, which is coming flash manufacturing PMI and flash service PMI around an hour and 15 minutes or 20 minutes from this time, and that is also significant market mover that you could see. Okay, so it's creating a bearish price action here in that area. Is it too narrow candlestick in that area? And it's breaking out of that level. Okay, so if you look at, as there is a news coming, this is a very high impact news, it's an important news. So with that high impact news coming in few minutes later, right? So that news can have a significant impact in the market if you look at. All right, so and we had successful position or a big one, but the market, having in a winning zone is more important than anything else. So I'll be a little bit of patient here for coming another entry. Potentially we can have an entry with the news or after the news. Okay, as it is Friday, the market is pretty volatile, and I will be trading later in NY session, and Friday NY session is a absolutely big session. Remember, Monday Sydney session and Friday NY session, these are two high volatile sessions that are really good to trade. That being said, due to the time limit, it's almost I'm up 2 hours, I think. Nearly 2 hours. So it's a productive session. I do focus on putting more values than anything else, guys. The more important for me is to make sure that the session is productive, and I believe that you guys also enjoy every day here trading live. If you enjoy, make sure you stay connected by joining the Telegram. Also, you can find mentorship program link also below this video if you want to explore more, take your trading to the next level. That being said, stay connected by joining all the links in the description. I'll see you again very soon in coming up. Have a big weekend. Let me share the Telegram here. You can join there. And as coming up over the weekend, I believe you guys will enjoy the weekend. Ready for on Monday. The next week is another big trading week. If you look at the calendar will tell you everything. So it's a CPI on AUD CAD. So FOMC is the biggest event, right? NFP and FOMC. So which will be on next week on Thursday, which is the Wednesday in my zone, Wednesday evening, FOMC. So we'll be trading FOMC, and throughout the week, this is a big week. Always, keep up on your trading by week journal. Look for the bigger picture, and always look at the bigger picture and stay for long term, right? That's where you need to look at long term. I'll see you guys again very soon. Again, over the weekend with any update. Thank you very much. Wonderful day. We'll see you very soon.